What's up, guys? Blade Master here with a very special live commentary. I'm here with AggonyDuck. Hello, hello.
Hello.
And we are here to. Um, I was interested. I was always interested in asking Duck about what he thought what were his thoughts on the Age of Charlemagne, and it just so happens that he has a tournament, a very special tournament that's got a pretty massive cash prize attached to it. That I thought this video would be good in promoting. So, Duck, why don't you take us through the tournament?
Yeah, well, firstly, I think Age of Charlemagne is a good game, and the only real issue is that the player numbers are low, so we at Aggony decided that we need to sort of create some hype and buzz into the community, and the best way to do that is just to get a tournament going. So we decided to bring back our Aggony 1v1 championships, and it's gonna be a single knockout tournament, probably going to be 32 players, 64 if we're lucky. So a bit smaller than usual, single knockout, so it's going to be fairly quick and easy to run. The idea is that we'll have the tournament over by the time Warhammer is out. So that's going to probably kill activity a bit.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, that's true.
So a fairly simple tournament. We're going to be hosting we're going to be doing a seeded draw, so we're going to have the flash tournaments before. So those who participate in the big tournament can participate in the flash tournaments to influence their seeding.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I haven't played in any Agony tournaments before this. I don't think I have. But yeah, was this like a feature that was always in Agony tournaments? This
No, they
seeded
did just a
flash.
new one. I mean, previously we didn't all. Sometimes we did a seed, and if so, we did it on basis of what sort of tournament results had preceded
Okay.
our tournament. But this is something new. But main idea here is that the flash tournaments help us develop the rules, test out maps, and to see how the meta develops, and it also sort of allows us to rank players and
Very
allows
smart
players
idea.
to sort of get competitive experience before they're thrown into a single knockout tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys aren't messing around with this tournament. I mean, it's a €100 prize for the winner, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the cash prize is sort of a must because in a way there's an entry fee to it, and it's having to buy a DLC.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
That's true. That's actually a very good way to think about it because there's still a while before the tournament starts. So if I'll probably post this in the next couple of days. If someone out there who hasn't purchased Attila who thinks they have a chance at winning this, I mean, it could be the best purchase you've ever made. You spend $10 to buy a game and then you win $100. Or sorry, not you spend $10 and then you win €100 in the from this tournament, which could be an excellent purchase.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
so that's good. I have taken, by the way, since we're playing this, we're going to be live comming this, little bit of information. I've taken the Lombards here, and AggonyDuck has taken the Charlemagne faction, on the other
yep.
hand. So, you said that you had a positive view of Charlemagne so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think it fixes a lot of the issues that are plaguing regular Attila. Firstly, the faction design is way better, just because of the fact that rosters aren't so bloated, and it's clear that CA has done a lot of work on just balancing the few units they have. So
That's
I
that's
do think it plays a lot
I
better.
agree that I agree with that completely because many people complain about the lack of faction variety, but Attila's factions were a lot more varied than Charlemagne, and we all know what an unbalanced mess Attila multiplayer is. When they bring too many units, it's just not in CA's capacity to really make a balanced game. Like we could see that with Total War Rome 2, it took them like 16, 17 patches for it to be like sort of kind of balanced. And with Attila, I don't even think they're planning on improving it in balance wise anyways.
I mean,
So
it's
yeah,
not
keeping it
easy to
simple.
balance.
Exactly, yeah.
So
It's very very hard to balance. Each unit you bring into a faction, it's just like the issue of balancing becomes compounded because what is this unit going to do for this faction? Oh, what's that going to mean for another faction? Oh, what is that going to mean for the entire meta? So there's a lot of things that you need to think about when you introduce a new unit. So by keeping it simple, shit, hold on one sec. Pause it one sec, bro.
Yep. Yeah, you were saying? Okay, well, I'll continue.
Yeah, sorry, I just got some delivery, so I'll give me like 2 minutes and we'll restart.
Just,
No, we won't restart. We'll just continue.
I'll discuss what's going on, or
go ahead. Yeah, that's
what I like about the game.
Nice.
So I mean, one of the major strengths with Attila is that cavalry, or I mean, Age of Charlemagne is that cavalry is just a lot better balanced and paced, in my opinion, because you just can't charge into enemy infantry in every condition because, well, the collision damage isn't enough unless you're flanking or the enemy infantry is in a thin line unbraced. So sort of need to put some thought into how to use cavalry, and cavalry is also very vulnerable because it's got such a low health. So that means that if you send your cavalry in too early without support, the cav will die before your support gets there. So you sort of need to work together with the cavalry and the infantry to get the most out of cavalry. And that sort of promotes a more balanced gameplay. And overall, I've heard people say that cavalry is weak in Age of Charlemagne, but I don't think that's actually true because firstly, a shock cav can still crush infantry on the charge. And then we're talking about regular melee cavalry. If it's flanking an enemy infantry unit, it's going to be racking up kills very quickly. But due to the way the health is done, you just can't really pull back without taking... I'd say on average, if you pull back, you're going to lose about 25% of your cav unit. So
you're talking
you need to choose your engagements.
You were talking about conservative use of cav being one of the things you like about Charlemagne?
Yeah, and I also just thinking about pacing because in Attila, cavalry is actually more tanky than the infantry, so cav engagements, well, say for like
you can literally keep them in engagements.
That's been going on, where now shock cav can actually crush other shock cav on charge.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say about like throw two melee cav units together in Attila, the cav engagement is likely to take longer than the infantry engagement.
Yeah, it takes a long time. Yeah, I'm ready to continue. By the way.
Yeah. So that's sort of.
Yeah, that's because cav engagements taking literally like 20 seconds to completely. Change course or something. That's one of the things that I didn't really like, and I don't think many people like that in Attila.
Yeah.
So it devolved into having the highest charge melee infantry that can support cav quickly, and then using them and just spamming them to charge in as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's a very simple game in that sense.
Exactly. The meta was too simple, then the meta became boring. What do you think is going to be the standout mechanic that we're going to see in the tournament in terms of like just battle mechanics?
I think we're going to see quite a lot of shield wall. Shield wall is very good.
Yeah.
And general sniping is very likely to be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be very prevalent too. General sniping is probably going to be the clinch factor for many games. Let's see, fast charge. I'm going to test out fast charge Gestalt Knights onto mounted swordsmen. If I use shield wall like this, then or if you use shield wall like that, will you be able to catch my retreating cav? The shock cav do get... Well, they pull out fairly effectively.
The enemy is attacking our general!
Ooh, this was fast charge. Did it work? I don't think so.
No, it's a bit tricky.
Units have been rallied.
I'm just testing out stuff because all of the Lombard units are pretty high charge. They all have like 30 to 35 charge bonus. So I was just trying to see if that made any sort of difference.
Thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Yeah, another thing I like about the game is just the skirmishers are actually good.
Yeah.
They'll
Adds a
win all
whole
those
different
games
aspect.
to you.
But yeah, so you said that general sniping and shield wall would be the two clutch mechanics that we would see in the tournament. What do you think is the faction of choice that most players would like?
I think we're going to see a lot of Westphalia and Cordoba. Those are
Westphalia
two-
is awesome. Yeah, I really like it.
Our men flee the field of
Surprised no Danes though? Do you think the lack of cavalry is too much for them?
Actually, I think the Danes are gonna also be strong, but I think quite often we're probably gonna be seeing like Danes facing Danes or Danes facing Avars. Because the faction rules I've had, or the faction rules we have, allow for mirror factions. So
Oh, that actually dovetails perfectly into what I wanted to ask you. The tournament is unique in that it's 9,000 funds. It's custom funds 9,000. It's not the regular 10,000 in the usual online battle.
return to the fight.
yeah,
So why is that?
so I feel that this sort of game works better with slightly fewer elites around.
But then again, the argument can be made that there aren't too many elite, apart from the elite cavalry, which costs around, oh god damn it, my cavalry is getting destroyed. Apart from the elite cavalry that costs around 1,000, there aren't too many elites that can be found.
No, actually, I
terms of
suppose the word I'm looking for is sort of the 700 cost units.
Right.
So when you go to 10k, you can afford more of the 700 cost units, and
That's true.
then sort of the emphasis less on the cheaper units and more on what expensive ones you're bringing.
The only concern I would have with this rule is that it might dissuade players from entering the tournament. But then again, it's a €100 tournament, so can't really. That itself is a big incentive.
I mean, the practical difference is fairly small between 9 and 10k. I mean, it's...
Yeah, even now I find myself with 200 to 300 talents left. Not knowing what to do with 10,000 talents.
We are losing ground.
Damn it, the fast charge didn't work.
I think both of us lost our generals, but only to a rout.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting that way.
Yeah,
Neither
but
of
that's
our
the thing,
generals
you
died.
can't really rely on giant sniping because there's always the danger that the general just routs.
Yeah.
Plus, disciplined units have the advantage of, well, being immune to the giant sniping, so...
Are there many disciplined units? I haven't noticed.
It's most of the 700 ones. Some factions I don't have them. I think Cordoba has the issue that only the Umayyad Guard and...
Oh, okay.
And
But on the other
Armored
hand,
Cab have
their
it.
their general is probably one of the strongest generals that you
Yeah.
can find.
I think
Incredibly.
only the Paladin Guardsmen might be better.
So, is there anything else that is left to discuss? I asked you about your best faction and your best. What do you think is the best sort of unit? What sort of army composition do you think we'll be able to see? Like, will it be something similar to yours? Lots of skirmishers and very few spearmen, or will we see more of like 4 or 5 spearmen, 4 or 5 swordsmen, something like
I
that?
think it sort of also comes down to what sort of army or faction you're facing, because I think we're probably going to be seeing fewer of the really heavy spear infantry units and more of the cheap spears, because at 150 the levy spearmen are very affordable and they're very good versus cav, and
Exactly.
they can hold for a while in melee as well, so I think we're going to be seeing a good amount of spears, maybe a bit less cavalry, I think like the probably less skilled players are gonna be using less cavalry because you sort of need to know when to engage them and when not to engage with cav.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see like the top players are probably gonna use more cav, maybe less spears and more skirmishers. But I mean, it's so early that the meta is gonna
Yeah, I don't
probably
think many
change.
of us no one probably has a proper clue of what the actual meta is going to turn out to be.
I think sort of the wild card units might be the armored noble skirmishers and the noble javelin men.
Oh, they are really good. Like the few times that I've played with them, very, very interesting because of that 30 charge bonus.
Yeah. I mean, in my tests, for example, the noble skirmishers, they can beat sword infantry just by standing there and shooting.
And then charging?
No, I mean, just charge, throwing into melee.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
they have encouraged too. Cool.
I mean, they're just very cost-effective units, so I think the problem with those, of course, is that I think the noble skirmishers are probably be less unlikely because Asturia is probably the most difficult faction to use.
I wouldn't imagine a lot of people picking Asturias. No long-range skirmishes is, I think, too much of a hassle, at least for me.
Yeah. But I mean, if you have good micro, you can just because the skirmishers are really deadly, even the regular ones. So just mixing skirmishers with some other units and just working the jabs.
Yeah, the jab working needs to be on point because, I mean, the noble skirmishers have 46 armor, but the rest of them don't have any armor, so they are very liable to get destroyed by missiles. I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure. Let's end this video by saying that here is the website that you can visit to register and to see the rules for the tournament are in the description of the video. I would have probably posted something before, like in the early parts of this video as well, just to point you guys where you can register. €100 cash prize, and it's going to. When is it going to start?
It's going to start in January. 1st of January we're going to do the draw on New Year's Eve, and I'm going to try to post at least 3 to 4 flash tournaments during the Christmas break. Probably one before Christmas and then a couple after Christmas. So.
So yeah, I most likely won't be able to play during the flash tournaments or maybe even during the actual tournaments since I'll be on leave. But I will be I'd be very keen on casting any or all of the tournament battles from this Aggony Championship. It's going to be very high level, I think, because Aggony has a big name in the community, and I think a lot of elite level players will be playing. Thank you to Duck. Thank you, Duck, for live coming this with me. Very, very interested to hear your thoughts. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. Peace.